dentist lights.
It's a laptop light.
This is a dentist lamp.
You want to tell us a horror story?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the story of Moldy's life.
That's a horror story.
Wow! You have to inspect the audience. The audience has to be dissected, isn't that?
Dissective?
I mean, it's your channel after all. It's gonna be your thing. Being like,
my thing is being like... You're gonna hear, folks, my thing is being like... What? Can you do that again? Okay.
hello, I'm Moldy. You're watching my good friend and I talking about the book club that we have. It's been almost a year, and we will tell you about the books that we have been reading so far, and maybe give you a short outlook on what's there to come. And this is my good friend. What's your name?
My name is Leti. I also have a YouTube channel. I am planning on making a second video and much more content to come, but nonetheless, for now, we're going to be talking about the books we've been reading for a while now, mainly because of my friend Moldy that likes to read kind of slow.
Actually, surprise guys, this is Moldy, not me. The first book we read in April was 20,000 Leagues
Under
the Sea by Jules
Sea.
Verne.
Jules of the Verne, or...
And yeah, it's sci-fi. We actually decided to read that because a good friend of mine kind of said it was good.
Was it? In your humble opinion?
I'm a human being of many words. No. I think that book was really action-driven, and I'm not a big fan of that. I like my characters to have character flavor, and they didn't. They were just vanilla. Like a bunch of vanilla sticks walking around in a submarine talking about things they're seeing over and over again. And I was like, okay, you see, I don't know, some fish. Good for you. Enjoy. I don't care though. What about
point.
you?
I, in fact, took some notes, and I will tell you, I'll be very honest, I tried to read Jules Verne when I was younger, and I just don't really think it was my thing to begin with. But because of you and your suggestion, I decided to give it another try. I will say, for me, probably the first thing that came to mind was the fact that it was kind of tedious to read, because I feel like for how much actually happens, sometimes it gets stuck on details a bit too much. And yes, I agree, it's quite action-packed, but then it stops for 2 pages talking about one thing that doesn't necessarily feel like it adds to the plot. Yeah. Well, I get the point. Okay, sure. I think for anybody that likes science fiction, it's pretty good. Especially if you enjoy technical details or, you know, some nautical technicalities or something like that. It definitely caters to that, but if you're not, it's probably gonna lose you. So, beware of that, probably. I said that the characters fall pretty flat, and so does the plot. Unfortunately, I just can't remember them. I just know that there were some people, and they were on a submarine.
Kidnapped by a submarine. I thought that was a whale.
Yeah.
And then they just go around, and then they just escape at some point.
Exactly.
And GP.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing you're ever gonna read, for sure. But at the same time, if you're gonna go science fiction, personally, I feel like there's more complex choices out there.
I bet there's an audience for it, but we're just not the audience.
On to our next read before she turns into a mermaid. On to our second book that I forgot when we read, but you'll probably remember.
It was When We Were Orphans by Ishiguro.
Exactly, that's what it was, and we're very proud to have read that. How did you feel about it?
I really liked that. I loved the characters. I loved their I love the characters. I loved their dynamics. I loved their arcs. I loved the way the main character, whose name I forgot because it's been almost a year, kind of goes on his personal mission, but kind of explores different themes throughout.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end, we kind of get to the point of like the main quest is kind of achieved, but still, that wasn't the goal after all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked it. It was really nice. Lit fic. I'm just there for that. How do you feel about that?
I feel like the writing was very beautiful and very elegant. I did read beforehand when I was trying to look at some, not necessarily reviews, but I like to look whenever you suggest something and we decide. I like to look beforehand at some reviews or some shit like that, or just see what the writer had to say about it. And he did say it's not his best. And a lot of people say it's not necessarily the most potent of his writing, per se. And I'm pretty sure he said in an interview that it wasn't exactly his favorite.
I think it was actually his least favorite of his works.
Yeah.
But still, for that, it was so good.
Exactly, which is crazy because for what it's worth, I can understand that maybe for example, as a area of improvement, probably the second half and the pacing of it is kind of weird, but I feel like it's still intentional.
Yeah.
Because it goes from a very historical, social sort of theme to something a bit more surrealist, sort of, slightly. Maybe some people would feel the change is abrupt, or maybe they might feel like the ending is a bit abrupt, but for what it's worth, I feel like it's still really good. And the atmosphere is really nice. I feel like he's got a way with words. Whenever he's trying to describe a space, you really feel like you're there. I do enjoy the themes, like the cultural themes that he went on. Colonialism, I think, was really nice to just mention in there, because you don't see that. I mean, you do see it a lot, but still, not that much. Yeah. I don't know what else, to be honest. I love an unreliable narrator. Sorry. It was a good book. Definitely recommend reading it in spring, autumn, summer.
Winter. On Mars. On Venus. Out there.
Wherever you want.
Whenever you want, wherever you want, with whomever you want.
On to our next fabulous pick.
No, cut that out. The Phantom of the Opera.
At night he sings to me. Okay.
She does that every night to me, like, at least when I'm here. Anyways, do you want to start? Should I start?
Let's switch it up. Okay. I had high expectations. I had high hopes for a living. I feel like it was dramatic. It was theatrical. It has atmosphere. It lacks substance to me. I just saw two boys obsessing over a girl that seems like she doesn't have free will. One of them is kind of like a tortured poet, and he hides under a mask because he's the Phantom. And then the other one is just in love and like a puppy. And yeah, you touch on themes of obsession and possessiveness and art and the price of art. But again, I feel like there was a different way that this could have been approached and executed. It doesn't lack shine, it lacks something behind the shine. That's my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, I read The Phantom right after reading Steppenwolf, and that change like that, it was just too drastic. I love Steppenwolf, and then going into The Phantom of the Opera, I was like, oh my god, this is just so bad. This is just so over the top. What? Just why? And then I kind of thought, okay, wait, when was The Phantom written again? Because, as I said, it was really like, still had the Steppenwolf in my mind. And then I realized they were like only written a few years apart. I was like, what the fuck? the Phantom just feels so, like, baroquely over the top.
Yeah.
That was just too much for me, at least at that point. And maybe, if I would have read something else, like, before that, would have liked it more, but it was just like, chill, guys. It's fine. Just leave everyone alone.
It's not that deep.
Legit, it's not that deep.
It really isn't.
At least, I mean, besides the fact that he's just kidnapping a girl at that point, but...
Yeah. It feels like you're reading a piece of opera, when they're going over the top.
After that, we continued with such an autumn read. We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson.
Great. Yeah. You can say that twice.
Such a masterpiece. It was... The characters were crisp. The story was crisp. The atmosphere was crispiest. Just the tension, Like, you get just thrown into that room with those sisters and that cranky old man. And then you have, like, these two outsider women coming in, and you think, oh my god, are they gonna kill them? Did anyone kill anyone? What is going on? Ooh. I love that book. I think the writing was amazing. I think the atmosphere was just so there. I think Jackson did a good job. Thumbs up.
Exactly. I think the world building was once again amazing. Maybe, no, I wouldn't necessarily say better because it was more complex when we were orphans. But she somehow manages to capture both the feeling of the space and the space. And I don't know how it felt to you, but the entire time through reading it, I just felt like I was in a dusty bookshelf, if that makes any sense. I was just reading
just
in the corner.
There.
Yeah, it really felt like that. And the fact that it was autumn, it was just perfect for that. So, again, it was very eerie and haunting, but without going to horror, which I feel like is kind of hard to pull in books. Because it just doesn't necessarily go anywhere, and maybe I just don't have enough experience with that. I'm the first to say I don't. But it had this whimsy mixed in somehow, and it felt really enchanted, and somehow you feel isolated with those girls in the house. You feel stranded, you feel like the outcast with them. You feel like it's not just them hiding a secret, you're also part of the family hiding a secret and a mystery behind, and wondering if anybody's gonna die. Wondering, because Mary Cat, which is the main character, she feels kind of shaky and unreliable as a narrator as herself. Extremely. So that's what makes it even better.
At some point, I was just wondering, like, is this actually real? Or it's just like a singular person living in and just imagining the entire thing?
It could be. It feels like that.
Because at some point I was like, okay, what is going on? What is real and what isn't?
Yeah.
Anyways, very much great autumn read. Really spooky, really isolated.
Yeah. Highly recommend if you're looking for something like a ghost, like a floating ghost. You want to read something that feels like a gossamer spirit. Okay.
Or you just want to chill on a dusty shelf, like Moldy does every now and then.
Yeah, I constantly do that.
Brutes by this date, and that was something.
Distaste.
I mean, we don't want to shade,
No.
This book tries to be mysterious and edgy, but it just turns out it's just a huge nothing burger, at least in our opinions. It was just confusing. There was this girl at the beginning of the book. She just went somewhere, and there's a gang of kids, and they do weird things. And that's the entire thing, I feel like.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just very confusing.
Yeah.
And the one thing that really threw me off was the beginning. I just felt like I went in so directly into something that I didn't get, and it just kept getting more ample, and I just kept not grasping at things. And then by the point that I was probably supposed to feel engaged in part of the world, I felt so... I felt like I was pushing myself to connect to what I was reading, and I did genuinely try to finish it. Like, it took a little bit of energy, and it's not a long book by any means, so it's kind of weird. And although it has this pretty, very pastel-y aesthetic to it, it kind of feels like you're reading, I think I mentioned this before, but Sofia Coppola. Like, it's trying to be one of her movies, except instead of being traumatizing and deep, and it just doesn't land. It feels like it wants to, but it just never does.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, it's just, you getting... The author just expects so much of you. Like, she's just trying to be mysterious, as I said, but she just kind of goes off a place. In her head, it probably makes sense because she knows the thing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But, of course, there's suspense and everything. That's okay. Readers can deal with suspense, but there was just too little information to go off of, and you just didn't know what was going on at all, I feel like.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, just remember... Well.
Exactly.
Well.
It's got potential, and especially in that sort of cultish feeling that it creates
to create.
Yeah, but it's so underdeveloped, or it feels that way to at least the people that read it in this book club. I feel like it's been agreed by the majority of us that that's kind of the feeling of it, that it's just not... You could go places and it just doesn't click right.
Yeah,
you keep waiting.
It basically, to sum it up, that book is just that cat meme that...
Yeah, I just feel like the white cat meme sitting like that.
Yeah.
That's that. Yeah. I'm sorry, it had potential though. On to the ones that we didn't all finish.
Well, hopefully this week. The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann. It is a chunky boy. It is great. It is cinematic. It is thought-provoking. It is haunting. It is beautiful. It is heartbreaking. It is... it has everything, you know? Like, it's so good. I love my 1,000-page long books.
You know, she actually reads a lot faster than I do, so you can trust her review more than you can trust mine, because I have not enough words to say, but I fully agree with everything you said. I will say there are some slightly misogynistic undertones to it.
Yeah, it happens in that time period, but yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely got a good ambiance going. The narration is very engaging, and I'm forgetting his name. Oh my god.
Hans.
Yes, Hans Castorp feels very... He feels real, and he feels very pretentious.
I mean, to add to my points, I think if there's something I disliked about that book, it was Hans Castorp, because this guy... Such a quirky kid.
Yeah, that's one word. You just see everything through his lens, and it kind of makes you dislike yourself in a way, I feel. Maybe just for me.
I just dislike Hans.
Well, yeah, but you're seeing things through his lens.
I mean, I'm not Hans. Are you Hans?
No, I guess when I read, I sort of try to put myself in the mind space of the character, especially if he's the narrator. No? Might not be a thing, and you know, different readers, different approaches.
We hope to move on quite soon. And we already had a poll about our next read, and we had a 50-50 split, so we know our next two reads, actually, because we will read both of them. The first of them being Light by... What was it?
Something
Eva figs.
Figs. Something. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put in the...
Onto my head. I'm holding it right now.
Yeah, you're holding it right now.
Yes. It is kind of Monet, a day in the life of Monet, basically, and his family. Following different family members throughout the hours, and it's really, really beautiful, I've heard. And then the second one will be Chess by Stefan Zweig, also quite short. It's about chess, surprise. And a boat. Again, we're entering us.
Boat?
Yeah, they're on a boat.
Oh yeah, you're so right.
So just kind of, to get back to the beginning with the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Kind of the water theme, like the ocean. And we're coming back to the ocean again.
Such a full circle moment.
Right. And yes, we would love all of you to join our cute book club. The link is in the description. If you have problems with the link, it's on Fable. It's a really nice alternative to Goodreads, and you have book clubs on there.
Yeah.
And it's pretty.
You can also watch movies. Just in case people are curious. I mean, we don't necessarily watch them on our specific, but you do have the option for movies.
No, it's a TV series.
You also have the option for TV series.
I actually think movies are not on there.
She would know, and I wouldn't.
Join us, we're cool.
Yes, and we have different reading paces, and I will not judge you if you read slower than me. I will actually feel validated. Thank you very much. I'm very insecure about that.